Hey guys, so hey guys, so I'm just sitting outside. You can see me sitting like a homeless girl, sitting in front of my house, just taking the fresh air. Let me show you a bit of my view, what I'm seeing right now. This is my view. You can see the kids playing. It's evening. You can hear the insects chirping. So that's my view. It's so boring. It's quiet, it's boring. But this time yesterday we were dancing. We had Nigerian party yesterday. Summer party by this time, so complain. Anyways, so I'm just sitting outside taking fresh air, and I was just thinking about a lot of things, and I'm like, boy, this country will humble you. Canada will humble you. It's not a joke. Like, a lot of things happening right now, a lot of things I've experienced. There are things that I have never experienced before in my whole life when it has to do with finances, like money. So I don't know, it's my own personal story, my own personal experience. Like the way before you come here that you will hear bills, you will hear paying of bills, spending money on bills and all that. Like back home we do pay bills, yeah, we do pay bills, but it's not as obvious as here. As I said, it's my experience. So, and you know, back home we pay rent annually once a year. So before you think of rent, is not a thing. Rent is not like a big deal to a lot of Nigerians, to a lot of people. So coming here and paying it like monthly basis is, so coming here and paying it monthly, like every 30 days, then though we're not paying rent anymore, we're paying mortgage, paying it every 30 days. You'll be like, when the 30 days just passed, like we just paid last month, it's already 30 days. Same thing with rent payers, and then the other payment, hydro, phone bills, internet, water will pay quarterly, then insurance, different types of insurance, you pay that one before you do groceries. Like we do pay this back home, definitely we pay, but it's not as obvious, and I don't know why. So my neighbors are making noise. My Nigerian neighbors are loud. So when it comes to rent, I've explained rent. So it's like a new thing. Like if you come here, you're used to paying annually, right? You now start paying monthly. So that one is like a big adjustment for you, because you have to always take it out of your income. That okay, oh, from this month's salary, this one is going for mortgage, this one is going for rent, then the other bills too. Like some people do it in such a way that they pay, like they'll say, because we're paid every 2 weeks, which is also a big adjustment, because back home we're paid monthly. So they'll say, okay, this first 2 weeks salary is for rent, or you said the husband's salary is for rent, or you say the first 2 weeks salary is for bills, or this one is for that. Like it is structured, everything is structured, you know. Like we do pay for NEPA, we do pay for, well, water. The way the Nigeria self is saying, you're like a local government on your own, because you pay for your own, you source your own electricity, you source your own water. Most people have borehole, right? So if you have borehole, then you're not paying for water. Have I ever paid for water bill in Nigeria? All the houses I've stayed is borehole. And if you have borehole, then you're not paying for the maybe maintenance. What you're paying for is electricity, pumping the water, buying fuel, filling your diesel or generator or something. So that is why it's like a huge shift, you understand? Here you pay for water, you pay for electricity, you pay for internet, your phone bills. So when it comes to the phone bills also, the reason why most Nigerians cannot relate is because we pay on the go, right? Your data finish, you buy. Your credit finish, you buy. If it finish, if you don't load, you cannot make calls. Me self, in my own case, where my last job before coming here, our phones are being paid for, our phone bills are being paid for, internet is being paid for. you just by default monthly it just automatically subscribes. So I'm not even used to buying credits. So I'm only used to buying credit for people, but loading on my own phone, like I hardly even exhaust my credit before the month end and then a new one will come. So I'm not used to that paying of bill. I'm not used to it. Talking about it now, it makes sense why I'm not used to paying bills, and I'm sure it relates to a lot of people. So people that buy credits, it's not like on month end you carry this chunk of money to pay. No, you pay on the go. Every week you buy, maybe in days if you buy to load your phone or to buy internet or something. But here it is provided monthly. You're just paying every month, so that one is a fixed payment. It's a fixed chunk of payment that comes in. That is why when we come here, it is like a big struggle to adjust to the system. As I said, first of all, the rent, you're not paying. We don't pay rent monthly, we pay it annually. So it's not a bother for you every month to be paying your rent or your mortgage back home, right? Electricity, you buy fuel, and most times you're not the one buying it. You just give your megad money, or your house girl or your house boy, or maybe when you're coming from work, you fill your car, you fill your tank. So it is, you pay on the go. Like the payment system in Nigeria, the bill payment system in Nigeria is like on the go most of the time. It's on the go. Then if you now own your house back home, if you're staying in your own personal house, you're not paying anything. Maybe people in Lagos or all these big cities, they pay all these Omonile or something. But if you own a house, mostly you don't pay like all this property tax or all that. No, you don't pay anything. So over here, even if you own your house, you're paying mortgage. Even if you finish paying, you're paying property tax, So if you own your house back home, you're not paying anything when it comes to house. You're just maybe maintenance, fixing of this, fixing of that. So it's like a kind of huge shift. We're 3 years here and we've adjusted very well, but I still think about it, like the way people's income are being structured every month. Like you cannot even fit in a lot of things into your budget, especially if you're strictly doing like a 9 to 5, like you have a structured payment, a structured income, like you don't have business that brings extra money or so. If you are strictly on a salary, no matter how that money is coming in, you cannot fix in any other thing. That is where the slogan comes, where the saying comes that I can't fit it into my budget. I can't fit it into my budget, because you have budget that your salary, every penny is going somewhere. If you have enough, you have like a huge chunk that you keep for miscellaneous. It's not everybody's salary that has provision for miscellaneous. It's not everybody's family income that has provision for miscellaneous. Like anything that comes up, you just use that one to pay. Most families, the salary is structured that it is divided. So when it comes to grocery, you'll be like, okay, for example, 1,000 is for grocery. No matter what happens in this, even if the ceiling falls down, if the sky falls down, we will not spend more than 1,000. That's both African store, both going to supermarket, eating out and all that. So it is like a kind of a shift, a cultural shock, a difference, something you have to align to. Like I remember when we just came in, few months after we came in, when bills are coming in, that is when we think about paying it. Sometimes we even miss it because we're not used to that payment. Like it comes and then you don't pay it and you'll be like, I'll pay it. Then another one comes and then you discover that you've missed one payment, and it's a very bad thing if you miss your bills. If you miss your payments here, it's a very big deal, because most times you set up a automatic payment, like pre-authorized payment, that automatically it comes out of your account. So if you miss that payment, it affects your credit. It is structured in that way, so you don't even want to miss it. So most companies, most bills you pay, like hydro, phone bills, they have provision that you can call in maybe like a week or 2 weeks before the bill comes out, before the payment comes out. If you cannot pay, you just tell them, I can't pay this bill coming in, can you extend it? So they will not take it out if you call them on a good timing. Because I worked as customer care representative for a telecom company, and that is why I even got to know that you can extend your payment. You can call in like a week to the day where the bill is supposed to come out. Then you tell us that, sorry, I can't pay, can you not take my money at this time? Then we'll tell you when are you able to pay. Then you give us the dates, then we'll know how to change the settings or something like that, because you don't want to miss a payment. You don't want to be in that situation. So the system is structured in that way. I talked about insurance. Which insurance am I paying back home? The only insurance I was paying back home was for my official vehicle, and that one was paid by the company. That was just it. So people that have personal cars, we only pay this insurance, what they call it, Z roadworthiness or something, that was very cheap. And most people said they even find a way to even do the backyard one, that you just have the paper, but when there's a claim, that's when you know that you don't have insurance. So we don't pay insurance. We don't do it. Insurance is like a big deal. It's a very big deal here. That is why you see insurance marketers find it very hard to convince Nigerians to do insurance here. And insurance in this country is not a joke. So we pay insurance, we do life insurance, we pay for the vehicle, we have mortgage, we pay mortgage, we have insurance for the mortgage. People that have loans, credit, even credit cards, they do insurance too, because insurance is like a protection. It's not like you don't have extra money to be paying around or to be paying premium, but just a protection in case life happens, something happens. Like there are different types of insurance, like job loss. Like when you have a credit card or a loan or a line of credit, you can do job loss insurance, you can do critical illness insurance, you can do disability insurance, you can do life insurance, so that if anything happens, you cannot work, the bank will be in charge of paying the payments. Things happen. A lot of people get disability. Like my husband had a disability once. He had to do a surgery on his hand. He couldn't walk because his hand, he needs to use his, or most jobs you have to use on hand, so he couldn't walk. So he had to claim his disability dead. Like he had to collect claim that I can't walk, and then the company was he was on EI and all that. So it's a kind of protection. Life insurance, anything can happen, like death, God forbid, but it is inevitable, right? Death can happen. You have a lot of gbese on your head. You have to get an insurance to cover for your liabilities, to cover for all the liabilities you have. What are the liabilities? Like if you own a house, how much are you still owing on that house? Let's say you're still owing 200,000 on that house. You have a loan with bank A, 50,000, 40,000, 15,000, credit card, this and that. All those gbese, if you sum up all the debts you have, all the gbese you have, let's say everything is 400,000. You get a life insurance that will pay out that same amount in case you die. You understand? So that the burden of paying back all those things will not fall back on your wife or fall back on your husband. That is the reason people do insurance here, because when one party dies, the whole burden goes to the second person. I just said it earlier that husband and wife sit down and program their salaries. Then imagine when one person now dies, the whole gbese will be on the wife. There is you have to pay it. So it becomes a huge burden. And the funny thing also is when it comes to these children are distracting me. Burial costs. Cost of burial in this country, in the abroad, is not a joke. Like when somebody dies, the cost to just bury that person, at least from what I've heard, could range between $10,000 to $30,000 just to bury a loved one. So imagine savings is not up to 10,000 and one party dies. You are mourning, and then you now realize that to bury that person is like 30k or 25k, or let's even say 10k. Let's say the smallest amount, 10k. Where is that 10k going to come from? In fact, you will stop mourning and you start looking for money up and down. That is the reason why, if you notice, especially people watching this video from here, like abroad, you notice a lot of Nigerian families, they lose a loved one, and then the next thing the family members and friends do, GoFundMe to contribute for burial costs, to contribute to help the family. Not that those families don't have money, but the money is not enough to bury a loved one. So you discover that someone dies, and then the family is now thrown into big issue of looking for money to bury the person that died. You get? So it is very important to have a life insurance. I am a Muslim. Muslims, insurance is like haram. It's prohibited. But in a situation whereby you find yourself in a situation whereby that society depends on insurance, you cannot do it. You can do without it, but you just have to. If you don't do it, you'll be in a kind of hardship. You understand? So it is recommended that you do the barest minimum. You're not going around looking for rates. You're not going around looking for huge amounts. You're just looking for the barest minimum, because people do go around asking for, and what is the premium? I want a coverage of 1 million. I want this to build generational wealth and all that. That's the way people get generational wealth for their families. But as a Muslim, it is prohibited. But if you have to do, just do the barest minimum. So we did it because just coming into Canada, we experienced like 2 losses from friends, family friends, distant family friend and colleagues that died. And then there was GoFundMe, and I got educated a lot about insurance, and I was like, no, we don't want a situation whereby one party dies and then the other party is now thrown into financial trauma. Especially when we even did the insurance before we bought our house. We did the insurance to cover for the approximate costs of the house we're going to be buying, so that anything happens, your loved one will mourn you. Your loved one will mourn you. We have the opportunity to pray for you. We have the opportunity to driving rough, like to mourn you, and then they won't be going on in health. Elementary school, that's like primary, secondary is free. University is not free. In fact, university is not free. So those students are still going to grow. They are still going to want to go to university. How will you fund it? So that's the reason why, if you've not had like insurance, like please go and look at it. If you have credit card that you have high balance, you're owing a lot, you have loan, you have line of credit, go and get an insurance. How much are you paying monthly in addition to your monthly payment? It's not a lot. It's just a protection, because while working you can lose your job. People are losing jobs. If you lose a job, how will you be paying for those basic, So yeah, that's just an advice I decide. So we pay for insurance, you have children, take them out, register for this game, register for that one, bills, that different types of bills depending on what you involve yourself in. But the basic one, electricity, rent or mortgage, water, groceries, insurance payments, car insurance. Even if you don't want to do life insurance, you will be paying car insurance. No matter how deteriorate your car is, no matter how rickety your car is, you will be paying insurance every month. It's compulsory. You have to pay. You can't even do without that one. Now it's compulsory. So it's just a kind of huge difference. And this country will just kind of humble you. It will humble you to plan. It makes you to think ahead. It makes you to budget. Like, even when the children want something, you'll make them know that, okay, this can be in next month's budget. This is not in the budget. Can we put it in next budget? Can we, you plan. Not like back home. I'm not used to all this. I'm not used to it. Like, we're not like gang wealthy people. But it's just a matter of, we need this. Oh yeah, let's do it. We want this. Oh yeah, let's do it. We want to travel. Oh yeah, let's go. But here, if you want to go on a trip, even within provinces, within your province, if it's not the financial planning, it is the planning of, okay, you are working. When we get vacation, okay, can you take vacation at this time? Me and husband and I should take vacation at this time. Or you plan it during summer break when the children are home. A lot of planning. The financial planning, like you want to go outside province, you want to fly, you will plan that money. There are people that go on trips on credit card, though. That one, or loan. That one is another story for another day. But people that want to pay out of pocket for a trip, they don't want to go outside the country, they want to go back home to Nigeria on maybe 2 weeks, 1 month, they start saving. How much will it cost us to travel back to Nigeria? You can say, okay, $6,000, that's like 6M, and then you start saving towards it. I work in a bank. I help people to create accounts, to discuss how much will it cost you, how much can you be putting monthly, when do you want to go on this trip? Okay, you want to go on this trip next year, in 12 months time, you plan and all that, So they start saving, husband and wife start saving into that account so that they can pay out of pocket for that trip. And there are other people that want to also go on a trip. They come apply for a particular credit card or loan